What if the traditional rules of love no longer apply? Think about it. For centuries, society has told us how to love, who to love, and even when we should love. But what happens when you step outside those boundaries? Today, we're talking about Sigma females, the women who redefine love on their own terms. They don't just challenge the norms, they rewrite them. Sigma females live by their own rules, creating relationships that are deeply fulfilling and unapologetically authentic. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's explore the 9 rules Sigma females live by to redefine love. Rule 1. They prioritize themselves first. Sigma females understand a fundamental truth about love. It starts from within. They don't rush into relationships trying to fill a void or seek validation from someone else. Instead, they recognize the importance of being whole and complete on their own before they share their lives with someone else. Prioritizing themselves doesn't mean they are selfish. In fact, it's the opposite. Sigma females know that if they neglect their own needs, it's impossible to show up as their best selves in a relationship. Imagine trying to pour water into someone else's glass when your own is empty. It doesn't work. For Sigma females, self-love is the foundation of everything. They dedicate time and energy to understanding themselves, what they need, what they value, and what makes them happy. Whether it's through journaling, meditation, pursuing hobbies, or even just taking a break when life feels overwhelming, they invest in their emotional and mental well-being. This focus on self-care isn't about pampering or indulgence, it's about growth. Sigma females view personal growth as a lifelong journey. They read books, take up challenges, and seek experiences that push them outside their comfort zones. By doing so, they become more confident and resilient, qualities that make their relationships stronger and healthier. But it's not just about emotional and mental self-care. Physical well-being plays a big role too. Whether it's eating healthy, staying active, or simply getting enough rest, Sigma females prioritize their physical health because they know their bodies and minds are interconnected. Feeling good physically helps them show up fully in every area of their lives, including their relationships. And here's the magic of prioritizing yourself. It sets the tone for how others treat you. When a Sigma female loves and respects herself, she sends a powerful message to the world about her worth. She won't tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or anything less than she deserves. Instead, she attracts people who value her for who she truly is. Now, let me ask you this. How can you truly love someone else if you don't love yourself first? Think about it. A relationship built on self-neglect or insecurity often becomes unbalanced, with one person constantly giving while the other takes. Sigma females avoid this trap by ensuring they are whole on their own before sharing their love with someone else. By prioritizing themselves, Sigma females create a ripple effect. Their self-love inspires others to love them in the same way, with respect, care, and authenticity. This doesn't just benefit romantic relationships, it strengthens friendships, family bonds, and even professional connections. So here's a question for you. When was the last time you truly prioritized yourself? It could be something small, like taking a few minutes to breathe and relax, or something bigger, like pursuing a dream you've put off. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't go anywhere, because in the next rule, we'll explore why Sigma females value independence over codependency. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Rule 2. They value independence over codependence. Here's a key trait of Sigma females. They are fiercely independent. They don't look to relationships to complete them or define their identity. Instead, they see relationships as an addition to their already fulfilling lives. A choice, not a need. Sigma females believe that independence is the foundation of a healthy relationship. When you're emotionally, mentally, and financially self-reliant, you're not looking to your partner to fix your problems or fill any gaps in your life. You show up as a whole, confident individual. That's exactly how Sigma females approach love. Let's talk about financial independence first. Sigma females know the importance of standing on their own 2 feet financially. They work hard, manage their resources wisely, and build a sense of security for themselves. This doesn't mean they don't accept support or collaboration in a relationship, but they never depend solely on someone else to provide for them. This level of financial independence not only gives them freedom, but also allows them to contribute equally in a partnership. Then there's emotional independence. Sigma females don't cling to their partners or rely on them for constant reassurance. Instead, they take the time to understand their emotions, process them, and grow through their experiences. They know that leaning too heavily on someone else for emotional support can create an imbalance in the relationship. This doesn't mean Sigma females shut people out or avoid vulnerability. Quite the opposite. They value connection and intimacy, but they also maintain a healthy balance. They share their emotions with their partners, but don't burden them with the responsibility of fixing everything. They believe that love should be a partnership, not a dependency. And then there's mental independence, the freedom to think and decide for oneself. Sigma females aren't afraid to express their opinions or make decisions. Whether it's about their career, lifestyle, or future goals, they stand firm in their choices and don't feel the need to seek validation from others. Here's the real beauty of independence. It makes their love even more powerful. Sigma females bring their whole selves into a relationship. Their independence is not a wall keeping their partner out. It's a foundation that allows the relationship to thrive. When you're with someone who chooses you, not because they need you, but because they want you, the connection becomes incredibly authentic and strong. So here's a question: how does independence show up in your life? Whether it's making your own decisions or creating a stable foundation for yourself, share your experiences in the comments. Rule 3. They don't follow society's timeline. Let's talk about one of the biggest pressures society puts on us: timelines. You've heard it before, right? By 25, you should be in a serious relationship. By 30, you should be married. And by 35, you should have kids. These expectations are everywhere, in conversations on social media and even from well-meaning family members. But Sigma females, they don't play by those rules. Sigma females reject the idea that love, relationships, or milestones in life should happen on a fixed schedule. They don't let society dictate their happiness or define their success. Instead, they take a step back, assess what truly matters to them, and live life at their own pace. For some, this might mean focusing on their career and building a strong professional foundation. They might spend their 20s and 30s climbing the ladder in their chosen field, chasing their passions, or starting their own businesses. For others, it could mean traveling the world, exploring new cultures, and gaining life experiences that enrich their perspective. And sometimes it's about simply enjoying their freedom. Sigma females don't believe in rushing into commitments just to meet someone else's expectations. They understand that the right relationship isn't something you force. It's something that happens naturally when the time is right. Think about it. How many people follow society's timeline only to end up in unfulfilling relationships or jobs they hate? Sigma females know that life isn't a race. It's not about ticking off boxes to satisfy others. It's about creating a path that feels right for you, even if it looks different from everyone else's. This mindset also applies to love. Sigma females don't believe in rushing into relationships just because they've reached a certain age. They're willing to wait for a connection that aligns with their values, goals, and desires. They know that settling for less than what they deserve will only lead to regrets down the road. And here's the truth. Love doesn't have a deadline. It's not something you can schedule or predict. It comes when you're ready for it, when you've built a life that makes you happy and you're in a place to share that happiness with someone else. So, if you've ever felt pressure to meet a certain timeline, let me remind you, your journey is uniquely yours. There's no right age for love, marriage, or anything else. The only thing that matters is living in a way that feels authentic to you. And don't go anywhere, because next we'll discuss why Sigma females value depth over drama in their relationships. You won't want to miss it. Rule 4. They seek depth over drama. Let's talk about one of the biggest differences between Sigma females and others when it comes to relationships. They seek depth, not drama. While some people might thrive on the excitement of messy, superficial relationships, Sigma females crave something much more meaningful. For them, a relationship isn't about appearances or fleeting attractions. It's about connection, real, honest, and deep connection. Sigma females want relationships that challenge them, inspire them, and help them grow. They value conversations that dive into life's big questions, shared experiences that build trust, and mutual understanding that creates a strong emotional bond. Superficial relationships, on the other hand, just don't hold their interest. Sigma females don't care about keeping up with the latest gossip or getting caught in petty arguments. They don't waste their time on people who create unnecessary drama or thrive on chaos. For them, drama is emotionally draining and a waste of valuable energy. Instead, Sigma females focus on surrounding themselves with people who bring value to their lives, friends, partners, and loved ones who share their vision, values, and priorities. They believe relationships should be uplifting, not exhausting. Think about it. How often do we see people stuck in dramatic relationships that feel like a constant roller coaster? Sure, it might seem exciting at first, but over time, it takes a toll. Sigma females recognize this and choose a different path. When it comes to romantic relationships, they seek partners who can meet them on a deeper level. They want someone who isn't afraid to be vulnerable, who communicates openly and honestly, and who shares their passion for growth and self-improvement. For Sigma females, love isn't about grand gestures or surface-level attraction. It's about finding someone who truly gets them and adds meaning to their lives. This same principle applies to friendships. Sigma females don't waste time with shallow connections. They're not interested in friendships based on convenience or superficial bonding. Instead, they seek out friends who challenge them intellectually, support them emotionally, and stand by them through thick and thin. And here's the thing. Seeking depth doesn't mean Sigma females avoid fun or laughter. Quite the opposite. They value joy and light-hearted moments just as much as anyone else. But they know that true joy comes from relationships that are grounded in trust, respect, and authenticity, not from the fleeting thrill of drama. When you prioritize depth over drama, you also gain clarity about who deserves a place in your life. Sigma females don't hold on to relationships out of guilt or obligation. If someone consistently brings negativity, they're not afraid to let them go. This doesn't mean they're cold or unkind. It means they understand the importance of protecting their peace and focusing on what truly matters. So let me ask you, when was the last time you chose depth over drama? Maybe you walked away from a toxic friendship, or you stopped engaging in arguments that didn't serve you. Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're building meaningful connections in your own life. Rule 5. They're not afraid to walk away. Here's the truth. Sigma females know their worth. They are confident in who they are, and because of that, they refuse to settle for anything less than they deserve. This confidence allows them to make one of the toughest yet most empowering decisions in life, walking away from situations that no longer serve them. When it comes to relationships, Sigma females have a deep understanding of what aligns with their values and what doesn't. If they find themselves in a relationship that feels one-sided, toxic, or unfulfilling, they don't hesitate to move on. They don't cling to the idea of what could have been or let fear of being alone keep them stuck. Instead, they choose their own happiness and peace of mind over staying in a situation that drains them. Walking away isn't always easy. It requires courage to let go of something familiar and step into the unknown. But Sigma females understand that staying in a relationship that doesn't align with their values is far more damaging in the long run. They would rather face temporary discomfort than compromise their self-respect or settle for less than what they deserve. Think about it. How many people stay in relationships out of fear? Fear of loneliness, fear of judgment, or fear of starting over? Sigma females break free from that fear. They know that being alone doesn't mean being lonely. In fact, they thrive in their own company because they've built a strong sense of independence and self-love. Walking away doesn't just apply to romantic relationships. Sigma females apply this principle to all areas of their lives: friendships, family dynamics, and even professional situations. If someone consistently disrespects their boundaries or fails to reciprocate their energy, they won't hesitate to step back. This doesn't mean they're cold or dismissive. It simply means they respect themselves enough to say, "This isn't working for me." Here's the beauty of walking away. It creates space for better things to come. When Sigma females leave behind relationships or situations that no longer serve them, they open the door to opportunities, connections, and experiences that align with their true selves. They trust that by letting go of the wrong things, they'll make room for the right ones. So, how do Sigma females manage to walk away with their heads held high? It all comes back to knowing their worth. They understand that their time, energy, and love are precious, and they won't waste them on people or situations that don't recognize their value. And guess what? Walking away isn't a failure. It's a sign of strength. It's an act of self-respect and self-care. Sigma females see it as an opportunity to grow, heal, and move closer to the life and relationships they truly deserve. Rule 6. They redefine commitment. When most people think about commitment, they often imagine it as a kind of trade-off, where you give up certain freedoms in exchange for being with someone. But for Sigma females, commitment means something entirely different. They don't see it as a loss of freedom, but as a conscious choice to share their journey with someone who complements them. Sigma females approach commitment with a mindset that's rooted in mutual growth and respect. They understand that a healthy relationship isn't about control, obligation, or sacrifice. Instead, it's about two individuals coming together to support each other's dreams, values, and personal growth. For them, commitment is not about merging identities or losing themselves in a relationship. Sigma females remain fiercely independent, even when they're deeply committed. They know that a strong partnership allows both people to maintain their individuality while still building something meaningful together. This redefinition of commitment also means that Sigma females don't rush into relationships just for the sake of being in one. They take the time to truly understand what they want and need from a partner. When they commit, it's because they've found someone who aligns with their values and goals, not because they feel pressured by societal expectations or timelines. Here's another important thing about Sigma females. They don't see commitment as a means to fix or complete someone. They know that a successful relationship is built on two whole individuals coming together to enhance each other's lives. not to fill gaps or solve problems. Because of this, Sigma females are selective about who they commit to. They don't settle for superficial connections or relationships based on fleeting attraction. Instead, they look for depth, understanding, and a shared vision for the future. They value communication, trust, and emotional intimacy, qualities that create a strong and lasting bond. Think about it. How often do people enter relationships out of obligation, fear of being alone, or the desire to meet societal expectations? Sigma females break free from these patterns. They commit because they want to, not because they feel they have to. This mindset also transforms how Sigma females view challenges in relationships. Instead of seeing disagreements or struggles as threats, they approach them as opportunities to grow together. For them, commitment isn't about perfection. It's about resilience and a willingness to navigate life's ups and downs as a team. At its core, the way Sigma females redefine commitment is about freedom. Not the freedom to leave, but the freedom to be fully themselves within the relationship. They believe that love should feel expansive, not restrictive. It should create a safe space where both partners can thrive as individuals and as a couple. And don't go anywhere, because next we're diving into how Sigma females embrace vulnerability in a way that feels empowering and authentic. You won't want to miss it. Rule 7. They embrace vulnerability in their own way. Let's clear up a common misconception about Sigma females. Many people assume they're cold, detached, or emotionally unavailable. But here's the truth. Sigma females aren't afraid of vulnerability. They just approach it differently. For Sigma females, vulnerability is deeply personal. It's not something they share freely with just anyone. Instead, they're selective about who gets to see their innermost thoughts and feelings. This doesn't mean they're closed off. It means they value trust and authenticity in their relationships. Sigma females know that vulnerability is a gift. When they choose to open up, it's because they've found someone who has earned their trust, someone who respects their boundaries and creates a safe space for them to be their true selves. This careful approach to vulnerability is one of the reasons why their relationships are so meaningful. Sigma females don't open up just to fill the silence or for the sake of drama. They open up when it truly matters, and when they do, it deepens the connection with those they care about. Think about it. In today's world, it's easy to overshare on social media or with people we barely know. But Sigma females resist this trend. They understand that vulnerability isn't about broadcasting your emotions to the world. It's about sharing your truth with the right people at the right time. This selectivity doesn't mean they're emotionless or afraid of intimacy. On the contrary, Sigma females feel deeply. They value emotional connections just as much as anyone else, if not more. But they've learned that not everyone deserves access to their heart. By being intentional about who they open up to, they protect themselves from unnecessary hurt and focus their energy on relationships that truly matter. And when Sigma females do open up, it's incredibly powerful. They bring honesty, depth, and authenticity to the table, creating a level of trust and intimacy that's rare and special. Their vulnerability isn't just about sharing feelings, it's about creating a bond where both people feel seen, heard, and valued. This approach also applies to how Sigma females handle their emotions in general. They don't bottle things up or ignore their feelings. Instead, they process their emotions in their own time and in their own way. Whether it's through journaling, meditating, or having a quiet moment to reflect, Sigma females take the time to understand their emotions before sharing them with others. Here's the beauty of embracing vulnerability in this way. It allows Sigma females to build relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. By opening up selectively, they create deeper and more meaningful connections with the people who truly matter in their lives. So, here's a question for you. How do you embrace vulnerability in your own life? Is there someone you've opened up to who has earned your trust? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you navigate this delicate balance. Rule 8. They don't compete in relationships. Let's talk about something that sets Sigma females apart. They don't view love as a competition. While some people may fall into the trap of comparing themselves to their partners or others, Sigma females know that true love isn't about winning. Instead, they focus on building relationships based on mutual respect, growth, and partnership. For Sigma females, the idea of competing in a relationship feels counterproductive. Why compete with the very person you're supposed to grow with? Instead of feeling threatened by their partner's achievements, Sigma females celebrate them. They see their partner's success as an extension of their shared journey, not as something that diminishes their own worth. This mindset comes from their strong sense of self. Sigma females are secure in who they are and what they bring to the table. They don't need to compare themselves to anyone, not their partner, not their partner's ex, and not anyone else in their lives. They understand that every individual has their unique strengths and contributions, and those differences are what make a partnership stronger. Think about how common it is for people to feel jealous or competitive in relationships. Whether it's comparing incomes, achievements, or social status, this kind of mindset can create tension and insecurity. Sigma females break free from this cycle by focusing on what truly matters: growth and connection. Instead of seeing their partner's success as a threat, they view it as an inspiration. They ask themselves, how can we support each other to achieve even more together? This perspective allows Sigma females to create a relationship dynamic that feels empowering rather than restrictive. This approach also means that Sigma females avoid comparing their relationships to others. In a world filled with social media highlights, it's easy to look at someone else's relationship and think, why isn't mine like that? But Sigma females understand that every relationship is unique, and what works for someone else might not work for them. They focus on what makes their own relationship fulfilling, rather than trying to meet external expectations. Another reason Sigma females don't compete in relationships is their belief in true partnership. For them, love is about working together, not against each other. They value open communication, shared goals, and teamwork. When one person succeeds, it's a win for the relationship as a whole. This mindset also helps Sigma females navigate challenges. Instead of blaming each other during tough times, they come together to find solutions. They see obstacles as opportunities to grow closer and strengthen their bond, not as reasons to point fingers or one-up each other. Here's the beauty of this approach. When competition is removed from the equation, love becomes a safe and supportive space. It becomes a partnership where both individuals can thrive. Sigma females understand that love isn't about proving who's better or keeping score. It's about building something meaningful together. Rule 9. They define love as freedom, not control. Here's something truly beautiful about Sigma females. They define love as freedom, not control. For them, love is never about trying to possess or dominate another person. Instead, it's about two individuals coming together to create a relationship where both feel empowered, supported, and free to be their authentic selves. Sigma females understand that true love doesn't mean losing your identity or sacrificing your dreams to meet someone else's expectations. They believe that a healthy relationship allows both partners to grow as individuals while building something meaningful together. It's not about giving up your independence, but about finding someone who respects it and values it as much as you do. Think about how often relationships fall into patterns of control. One partner might try to dictate how the other spends their time, who they talk to, or even what goals they pursue. Sigma females reject this entirely. They believe that love should feel expansive, not restrictive. It should inspire you to be the best version of yourself, not limit your potential or make you feel small. For Sigma females, love as freedom means having the space to pursue their passions, make their own choices, and maintain their individuality. It means trusting their partner to do the same. This trust is a cornerstone of their relationships. When both people feel free, they can support each other in ways that feel natural and authentic without the weight of control or expectation. This approach also helps Sigma females navigate challenges in relationships. Instead of resorting to controlling behavior or manipulation, they rely on open communication and mutual respect. They understand that you can't force someone to stay or love you more. Love thrives when both people feel free to choose each other every day, not because they have to, but because they want to. When love is based on freedom, it becomes a safe and nurturing space. It's a place where both people can thrive as individuals and as a couple. This kind of love isn't about perfection. It's about creating a partnership where both people feel supported in their journeys. And isn't that the ultimate goal? To build a relationship that uplifts and empowers, where you feel free to be yourself and free to love fully. Sigma females are redefining love, and in doing so, they're showing the world that relationships can be about empowerment, respect, and authenticity. If this video inspired you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Don't forget to subscribe for more content about love, relationships, and personal growth. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep living by your own rules.